What's up, everybody? Azariel here for another ADSplay uploading schedule for the week of June 13th, 2014. Kind of have some interesting things to talk about today. One of those things being, I'm gonna just dive right into it. Um, my internet is currently out, and the reason being is that you know certain things happen. I'm gonna just put it like that. Yeah, like the bill didn't get paid in time, and I'm currently out of any internet access. So, you guys, I'm recording this as of the 13th, which is Sunday. So today is Sunday, and you guys will probably see this no later than Tuesday at the latest, probably. Reason why I say that is because I'm waiting on my money from my YouTube ad revenue to kick in, and I'm not gonna see that money until uh, the 15th. Now, the thing is, sometimes, or at least the last time I was paid, like they sent the money earlier than they were supposed to. So I don't know if they're going to stick to the schedule and they're going to pay me, on the 15th, or if they're going to pay me like a day earlier, what I'm saying, like they did last time. So depending on how that goes is going to depend on whether or not I'll be able to get this up as soon as possible. But I, there, but with that being said, until they do, unfortunately, there won't be anything, you know, happening on the channel. So by the time you guys see this, obviously that'll let you know that the internet is back up and running and everything's fine and everything's cool. But I'm just doing this right now so that when the internet does come back on, I don't have to wait that day to do it. So yeah, man. Just to give you guys some updates of everything that's going on, and when the internet does come back on, hopefully sometime this week, which I'm pretty sure it will be. But just to let you guys know everything that I have planned going on, depending on what day the internet does come back on, as well as some updates in regards to my job searching from last week. And I do have some good news. And if you guys are paying attention to my Twitter, then you already know what the good news is. Um, as well as some other things I have going on. Some possible things going on this week. So yeah, like there's a lot of ideas just bouncing around in my head. And mind you, I just woke up and I just decided to do this. So like I'm not 100% right now, but nevertheless, let's get started. Now, last week I mentioned to you guys, well, actually 2 weeks ago, I mentioned to you guys that I was, looking for a part-time job and things like that. Last week I announced that, I was speaking to some of the managers, and they told me to call them back later on that week. And some good news, I received a couple of job interviews. Mind you, these are like seasonal positions, but nevertheless, they're there. So fingers crossed. Hopefully, I'll be able to get this 9 to 5 because I can speed up a lot of my plans that I had for last month in June that I wasn't able to do due to unfortunate circumstances. Bills. But but yeah, I wasn't able to pull those plans off as quickly as I wanted to, and I had to push them back 2 months. But I'll be able to push everything up, you know, at least like a few weeks earlier than planned if I do land this job. Cause let me tell you, man, I am so focused when it comes to this YouTube uh, video game gig that this is what I felt like I was meant to do. And during times when I was having like this drought that I'm having right now, it was plenty of times where if anybody else was in my position, like they would have easily just gave up. Me, I believe that you know that dreams without goals remain dreams, and dreams do not become reality without discipline and consistency. Shout out to Denzel Washington. But yeah, like I'm a guy that believes in that, and I've been disciplined and focused and consistent with gameplay just to give you guys something to let you know that I'm here. I'm working, and I do my best to keep you guys entertained even during the downtime. So when I have the money to go out there and catch up on all the games that I missed this past, or like these past few months, like Watch Dogs, even South Park Stick of Truth, now Transformers. They got One Piece World Red, and Sniper Elite 3, I believe. That's another one. Yeah, like mind you, like I have all the games written down, so all I got to do is just jump into GameStop and go buy them, and then I'm gonna do an ADSplay unboxing of all those games. So that will probably be like the longest ADSplay unboxing that I will have ever done. And not only that, but if I land this job, I'll be able to finally buy the direct capture equipment. I can't tell you how annoyed I'm getting with this digital camera setup that I have right now. It's very guerrilla style. I have to aim a digital camera at my flat screen TV, and it auto focuses and it blurs out the picture. When the picture is good, it's good, and then all of a sudden, because of all the action that's happening on the screen, it just blurs out, randomly, and there's no way for me to turn it off. So I'm basically at the mercy of that thing right now, and it bothers me that I can't give you the quality that I know I should be able to deliver. But as I mentioned months and months ago, even last year, going into last year, late last year, I told you if that was the best that I would be able to do, then that's what you guys are going to get from me, and I've stuck to that. So hopefully we'll be able to get rid of this and move on into a better form of video game recording, soon. I mean, it's still early in the month, so if I'm able to start this job sometime this week, then by all means, that means I'll be able to get it before the end of the month. Because I don't know how the payments work out here, but I know back in Louisiana when you first start a job, depending on the week that you start, when everybody else get paid, while everybody else is on like a 2-week payment schedule, your first check comes in like the first 3 weeks. Because sometimes you start working in the middle of the 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 payment weeks. So if that's the case out here, then you guys will be able to, I'll finally be able to get the direct capture equipment within like the first 2 or 3 weeks here, just depending on when I start. So that's something to look forward to. And again, man, wish me luck. Now, of course, it means if I do get this job, a lot of things are going to be slower on this channel just for the time being, just until I can get everything else, up and running. Of course, I'm going to still do videos and things like that to keep you guys occupied and entertained, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that I need to catch up on, and with Yu-Gi-Oh and some other things that I had planned on doing. So yeah, like there's going to be videos still, just at a slightly slower pace, and I do mean slightly. Um, but yeah, with that being said, um, moving on into the possibilities, or like the possible gameplays that I had ideas for this week. Infinite Crisis. Now, this is a game that recently they started doing these weekly champion rotations, where the champions that have not been paid for, or like the champions that you have to pay for in order to get, what they do is every week they do a rotation, and certain champions become available to players to use. Last week they had like Aquaman, Atrocitus, etc., etc., and Sinestro, which, had I known about the weekly rotation, I would have been able to do my videos then, and that's what I planned on doing this past week for this batch of Infinite Crisis videos. But when I found out that Sinestro wasn't on there, I just did them anyway, and I was like, oh, I missed out. So hopefully this week, if Sinestro is available again, I will be doing another batch of Infinite Crisis videos using Sinestro, because I was getting used to him. I like the champion, And when I get my money situated, I'm gonna buy Blue Beetle and Sinestro, because I've been getting very familiar with those two characters, and I know them pretty well now. So that's something to look forward to. Again, this is all depending on if Sinestro is a free champion this week. Um, Next up, Tekken Revolution. Now, this is another game that I received some positive feedback from. People were enjoying the matches that I was having with, on Tekken Revolution, and people seem to enjoy it so much that they want some more. So, so like, why not? I'm a big fan of Tekken. I've been playing Tekken since Tekken 2, so way back on the PlayStation 1, and I've been enjoying the game ever since and following it all the way up until now. You know, I'm I have nothing against playing Tekken Revolution. You know, just wish there wasn't so many spammers online. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to doing some Tekken Revolution this week. Granted that the internet gets up, all this is based on the possibility that the internet is up early this week, so that I'll be able to get all this done. So that's that. And as far as gameplay, man, that's pretty much it. Because I'm not trying to fill up the schedule too much, depending, because I'm really building up today's or like this weekly schedule based around if I get this job, and I have to do that, for the sake of the work. Because if I start working, then that's going to take up a lot of my time, and not to mention I'm gonna have um, a lot of plans that I want to do, or like a lot of plans that I want to put into action with the money that I receive from the job, and that's something that I most definitely am going to have to focus on. And not only that, and I forgot to mention this early in the video, my classes started again last week, and I have to focus on those assignments, and I'm gonna have to get those out the way ASAP. Because with my internet off, I can't access the classroom, and I'm going to be behind. So of course I'm going to have to focus on those as soon as the internet comes back up. So of course I might announce on my Twitter to you guys. Well, yeah, like you guys are going to see the video when it, uh, you know, um, goes live. So you guys will be able to know at that moment, okay, this guy's internet is back on. All the troubles are over for the time being. I mean, or at least all other troubles are over, and yeah, everything's going back to normal somewhat. So that's pretty much it as far as ADSplay. Well, that, and I'm interested in doing some more Soul Calibur, Lost Swords. They have these new event quests going on until the 23rd. They said, where you're able to get Astaroth and Ivy for like 100% chance until the 23rd, and that's Wednesday next week. So, you guys interested in playing Ivy? I used to play Ivy and Astaroth back in Soul Calibur 3, and I played it again in Soul Calibur 4. And it's good to get my hands on some other characters besides just Mitsuruki. Even though he was my main there in Soul Calibur 3, but still, it's good to play with some other characters. but but yeah, man. But that would be the extent of ADSplay this week. Granted that my internet comes back up on time, so Infinite Crisis, that's a possibility depending on if Sinestro is a free champion or if there's another champion that I've been interested in using that, you know, is within the free champion rotation this week. Uh, Tekken Revolution and Soul Calibur Lost Swords Event Quest. As far as Yu-Gi-Oh! 101 goes, of course, I believe there's going to be some new cards um, coming out or being confirmed this week. So that'll be something to look forward to for you guys. as well as some new Yu-Gi-Oh! 101 discussion videos, and I'm thinking about doing a part two of my tips video on how to help newcomers. I've been thinking, and it's some other things that I need to touch on, so that'll be something else I need to speak on as well, um, for Yu-Gi-Oh! 101. And also, again, this is all depending on if I land this job or not. I will be doing, or if I land a job, and depending on when I start the job, which could be this week. So depending on that and that alone, I will be able to do another Skype fan day session. Again, if that's the case and I am able to do it, I'm gonna announce on my Twitter. But beforehand, just in case I am able to do it, add me on my Skype fan chat, and I will add you when the internet comes back on, and we can just go from there. Again, this is all based on the possibility that I do get hired, but I don't get hired to work until say like next week or something. If they hire me this week, then of course I won't be able to do it, which of course I'll announce on my Twitter. Please make sure you follow me on there, my Twitter, my Facebook fan page. I do use that for business purposes. I don't sit there and lollygag like other people do and announce unnecessary things like when you're down to your last cornflake in your cereal bowl, and you done finally drunk all the milk, and then you take a big picture of like the spoon in the bowl with a little bit of milk left in it. Like, yeah, like I don't do that. I use it for business purposes to update you guys on the daily as to what's going on, if there's any unexpected events that may cause me to cancel anything, which has happened in the past, only with Yu-Gi-Oh! 101. It hasn't really happened with ADSplay. So, yeah, keep your eye on those two pages. But, yeah, if I'm able to do Skype Fan Day, I'm going to say it right now. Last week we had some technical difficulties. The reason being that there was some feedback from one of the guys, and you'll have to make sure that, okay, so see, when I do Yu-Gi-Oh! 101 Skype Fan Day, I do group calls, or at least that was the plan the last time I did it. And some people need to have on, like, what you need guys need to have on is that, because I do like the group calls, if you're using your speakers to hear me, then you guys have um, the then there will be some feedback in everyone else's headphones. So what I'm asking is that, if you guys are going to participate in a Skype Fan Day, then please have some headphones so that there isn't any feedback like last time. That's pretty much my only request. And make sure that your microphone is actually loud enough to where we can hear you, which I didn't have any problems with last time. So I'm just, like I'm just saying, like, um, yeah, like let's just make sure that that's the case, So with that being said, man, just a quick recap of everything that could possibly happen this week. Uh, First off, I got some job interviews coming up Monday, so that's pretty much what my focus is right now, and hoping that I can impress them enough to where I can land a position, hopefully sometime this week, because like the sooner I work, then the sooner I'll be able to get paid, the sooner I'll be able to get the direct capture hardware, the sooner I'll be able to buy all the games that I missed, you know what I mean? The sooner I'll be able to do those things. The sooner I'll be able to do those things. Um, and as well as my school assignments. So those are going to be my main focus earlier in the week. So you guys may see like one or two Yu-Gi-Oh videos, but it won't be anything in regards to ADS plays, because I'm not going to have time to just sit down and do any type of gameplay sessions if I'm focusing on trying to catch up on my school assignments and worrying about those interviews. And yeah, so that, and my internet may not be up until sometime later this week. That is a possibility. So with that being said, you know, what's on the plan? Uh, so what's on the agenda? Uh, Infinite Crisis, depending on whether or not Sinestro or any other champion that I was interested in using is in the free champion rotation this week. Uh, Soul Calibur Lost Swords and Tekken Revolution for Yu-Gi-Oh! 101, a part 2 of How to Help Newcomers. Um, and I'm pretty sure there'll be some Yu-Gi-Oh! 101 card reviews. And there may even be a Yu-Gi-Oh! 101 discussion video. You know, those are normally my spur of the moment videos. I don't really have a plan as to when I'm going to do them. So, I'm, but I, but like I have this itching feeling that something's going to happen to where I'm going to need to have a Yu-Gi-Oh! 101 discussion video. So, that's it. And, oh, see, I woke up when I first started doing the this video, so forgive me if my mind like kind of blanks out. But yeah, I was contemplating doing another Yu-Gi-Oh! 101 funnies that I have. You know, I haven't done a funnies video in quite some time, and like I'm gonna have a special guest with me. Uh, you know, again, this is all based on the possibility that my internet comes on early this week. You know, so hopefully, you know, they send the money tomorrow. If not, then it's going to be on Tuesday, and I'll be able to get my internet turned back on then. But until then, man, thanks for watching. Peace, and I'll see you guys whenever my internet turns back on. Take care.